Hey everyone, Nubkeks here, and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. This may be the second video out today. Not entirely sure how it's going to work out, but I did bring out a Samuro video today. Possibly the PTR is starting. If there is no PTR today, you're going to get this. If the PTR is already out, you'll be watching this a day later. So hello to you either way, whichever way it goes. But yeah, this is from, whereas the Samuro one was from sort of the second play session. This is from the earlier, saltier play session. Like I said, I played a few games. By the end of it, we were, I think, basically at the bottom of Diamond 1. It went pretty badly, but I did salvage, I think, 2 or 3 of the games I thought were worth doing videos on. This one is going to be on Warhead Junction, and we're not actually the team captain this time, which is something of a surprise. Not too usual, but we'll see how things go. We are also the last pick, and this first ban is taking a long time. Oh, I didn't even see that in the chat. Prometheus, hello. I didn't see you while I was doing the thing. You can see I'm sort of not even in the game. I was tapped out. You can notice that when the mouse changes. That's funny. I need to pay more attention to that, chat. There you go. Anyway, bans coming out first. So we get a ETC ban, followed by Samuro ban, and then a Malfurion pick. Nothing too startling right there. Relatively straightforward. Malfurion, I think he's still, it'd be interesting to see if he gets nerfed or changed at all, or the other supports do, but certainly at least in this patch I do think he was actually still the best support overall. Just so useful, so consistent. And our heroes, we're looking at a Zagara and possibly a Thrall right here. Like I said, it's been a while since I played this one, so I don't remember exactly what gets picked, and I don't remember if we win or not, so yeah, I can't spoil this one. That's good. 2 more picks coming out from the enemy hero. So I kind of like our picks. Zagara is actually, she's a bit weaker than I expected on this patch. She's still fairly decent though. Has an option to go for the team fight with the Maul heroic, or to go for more of a global presence with Nidus Network. I think Warhead Junction is actually a very good map for that. Yeah, basically the global mobility could be pretty effective. I think she does end up going for Nidus Network in this game, if I remember correctly. So it's kind of cool. You can kind of hop around the map and try to capture nukes, basically rotating faster than the enemy team can. And it's unlikely the enemy team is going to get many globals here. They don't have Brightwing. They're not going to get Falstad if they've got a Gul'dan and Vala. They could get a Dahaka, but people hadn't realized Dahaka was any good at this stage. By the way, I will have a video coming up on Dahaka in the next couple of days, so do stay tuned for that if you want to find out why Dahaka has been a sleeper, very strong hero that no one realizes that good. But expect to see more of him in the next while. And certainly also expect to see a lot of people playing him badly because they don't understand how to pick him, but they heard that he's kind of good. Anyway, this guy wants to know if I'd like to support. I prefer to play warrior, but I'm happy to play support if we have to. He wants us to have Murray. I was like, I could play any support. It's not a big deal. But certainly the enemy team will be picking their Excuse me, I can play any warrior, any support. The enemy team will be picking their warrior before us, though. If it was me picking it, and they would more than likely take Muradin. I think taking Johanna would have been fine. Johanna's also pretty good against Vala. In fact, very good against Vala. So it wouldn't have been awful to have the Johanna, but it's fine to have the Muradin. We got the Butcher as well. He'd been hovering that all draft long. And he is the team captain. So I'm looking at picking up Uther in this particular game. I mean, Oriel is still up, who would be the other tier 1 support. However, not really feeling the Oriel with the team we have. Oriel is very dependent on heroes doing damage to generate energy for her. So she works really well with Gul'dan or Vala or Lunara. These ranged heroes that put out just consistent sustained damage, and you basically can't stop them doing damage. They always do a lot. That's what Oriel works well with. We don't really have that on our team. Thrall and the Butcher are both melee assassins, so they can be inconsistent. And then we've got Zagara. And I don't know, I just didn't have enough faith in Zagara to do enough damage in a team fight and generate enough energy to make it worthwhile. So I think opting into Uther is better. We also got Divine Shield for either the Butcher or the Thrall, preferably the Butcher, to enable them to sort of dive and get stuff done. The enemy team, they didn't grab Dahaka, but they did grab 2 warriors, in fact 2 sort of bruisers, the Arthas and the Sonya. So that's kind of intriguing, actually. I'm going to have a lot. I think the Arthas pick is very nice. I think he's a Grandmaster, right? I think he was. I didn't quite pay attention there. But yeah, I think he's a Grandmaster. So that's good for him. But yeah, so the reason Arthas is good, Arthas is very good against Thrall and against the Butcher, in my opinion. The AoE slowing he puts down is it's really nice. He can slow attack speeds as well. He just makes it very hard for them to actually engage and push through. Yeah, stuff like that. Oh, they both of their warriors have block. That makes a lot of sense. The Butcher and Thrall are two of the hardest hitting heroes in the game. Maybe Nova might hit a bit harder than Thrall. I don't know. I think they might even be two of the hardest hitting heroes in the game. Definitely two heroes that make block very worthwhile. The Butcher, I think, is the hardest. Yeah. Here we go. A bit of a tussle over this first one. Actually, getting hit by the Gul'dan corruption should make it a bit of a priority to dodge that. Unfortunately, Murden does die. Dwarf tossed in aggressively, and I wasn't quite following him. Got attention. Split. So I'm going in here, trying to keep Thrall alive. I'm going to go down. Or Thrall's going to go down, I think. Yeah, I'm going to go down as well. So there you go. I mean, I could have healed the Murden. I think Murden would have died anyway. Could have healed the Thrall a bit better. I think he would have died anyway. And I suppose I could have run away. I might have lived, actually, if I just ran away and let them die. But it's worth attempting that. Oh, the Butcher goes down as well. So that's 4 for nothing, I believe. So not a very good start to this particular game, but we'll see how it goes. We do actually have very strong solo lanes. Well, the enemy team has got strong solo laners as well, to be fair. Arthas, Gul'dan, they're both very good. Sonya, great. Avala is not awful. She's not good, but she's not awful. See, I'm trying to defend this. But yeah, Gul'dan obviously he's got a stupidly good wave clear. That's his real strength. The Butcher is going ham here on the Gul'dan. I was kind of going, oh, Butcher, please no. Please no. So I go in to try to save the Butcher. But yeah, he just dived into that Gul'dan. I was like, you were not paying attention when you were walking to the lane. They were all there. So I went in to save the Butcher. I ended up paying with my own life. Possibly should have gone a little bit less ham in trying to defend him. It was one of those really awkward situations, though, where the engage was just completely crazy based off what we knew. And I got so taken by surprise. I was like, oh shit, and kind of screwed up because of that. Looks like Thrall might die. Yes, Thrall does die as well. Looks like we might get a return kill though on the Gul'dan. The Butcher and Murden both getting in there. Never mind. Looks like body blocking failed. And Gul'dan and Vala walk away with no health, no mana. Should give us a pretty good chance to grab that bottom nuke though. Unless they both have their thingies. So Arthas dies to minions, I think. Was that up towards top? I believe that was towards top. Arthas actually died in a 2v1 in favor of the enemy team. I could be wrong about that. That was kind of crazy. Anyway, very exciting support versus support duel going on down here. Either of us could die at any second. Okay, no one's gonna die. But yeah, I think I do spend quite a chunk of this game actually soaking the middle lane. Yeah, Zagara is just going to be top all game. I think Thrall's going to be bottom all game. Oh, I mean, like, for the laning phases anyway. So, yeah, you can see here, coming up to help Zagara. She's actually quite low on mana, but we'll be able to give her a little bit of a heal, which will help her sort of sustain in the lane. However, the mana will still be something that's restricting her and holding her back. And then once I've healed her up, I've got to come back to the mid lane. So we missed 2 minions of XP. I think it's worth it in order to get the roam on. We helped Zagara push that lane a little bit more, gave her a bit of a heal. And yeah, there you go. Our teammates not having the best time, though, in the bottom. They got 1 kill, but we lost 2 or 3 heroes, though, in return. And yeah, things are, once again, back to just doing the old solo lane Uther. Definitely not a support you really want to be solo laning on. Though he's not awful. I also spec'd into my doubling my Holy Radiance at levels 1 and 4. Number 1 to help with wave clear. Number 2 to also help poking people off the nukes. And also, very important, to give more AoE healing to deal with the AoE damage of Gul'dan, of Sonya, of Arthas. The enemy, and Vala too. They have a lot of AoE damage. Like an awful lot. So yeah, Uther doesn't normally do very well against that. But with these talents it helps alleviate that at least a little bit. And we're back to cleaning out the solo lane. Getting hit by too many corruption stats. Really need stacks. It doesn't really do any substantial damage to me. Nothing I need to worry about. but it does make it, it does help him finish that level 1 quest, which helps him out a lot in the team fight. So I want to try avoid that where possible. And here we go, our teammates are starting to rotate around. And I think it'll be the, sort of the next nukes is probably when the next sort of big fight's going to happen. You can see that we had established kind of more map pressure there and more map presence we had in a while. The reason being that the enemy team, in fact, they weren't just at their bruisers, they were at their siege camp as well. They completely retreated off the map in order to grab those merc camps. So that's going to be now going to have a big swing in terms of the tempo of this game for the next, I don't know, minute or so, while we have to deal with the siege camps and the enemy team can kind of just establish control over this. There we go, we sidestepped the corruption this time. Good job. And here we go, we got warheads spawning. This is when things get pretty gnarly. It's kind of nice actually, on this map you can, pretty sure you can like solo the siege camps between waves, basically without missing much XP, which is nice. I gotta grab this. Wasn't super necessary to tap the healing fountain, but I decided it'd be worth it just to come in with as much health as possible to this particular nuke fight. Gonna heal myself up, in fact, right there. This, unfortunately, corruption's just off cooldown, so Gul'dan able to interrupt with that, and he's going to come in with his Q as well. Malfurion throwing a nuke down in the bottom, and Zagara and Arthas are fighting over it up top. Another corruption does interrupt me, but Gul'dan looks like he will pay with his life for that interruption. Doesn't delay me that much, and he goes down. I'll throw a bit of a heal on Muradin. There's nothing else for us to do at the moment. I think, oh yes, I remember this. I think he's actually going to say, you don't need to heal me. I believe he does have the level 1 regen talent as well, so you heal ridiculously fast with that. However, you know, that was a situation where I had plenty of mana, wasn't going to need those cooldowns in anything in the near future, so I might as well throw a heal out on him. Get him in just that little bit quicker. But yeah, generally speaking, you don't actually need to heal Muradin with that level 1 talent because he's going to just regen stupidly fast. That's okay. He's going pretty ham here. Actually popping Avatar as well. I'm not sure why we're going in so hard. Our main damage dealers are not there. I'm in a bit of a tough spot. Actually going to pop Divine Shield on myself. The Sundering coming out to help our retreat as well. I'm not sure why we were fighting. That was kind of bizarre. Anyway, we certainly secured the fort. I think we were gonna get it regardless, though. I don't know. It was interesting. We did get out in the end, but we had to burn all of our heroics to do so. So we're gonna be in a bit of a tough spot for the next while. And here we go. So things dead even in terms of XP. Both teams neck and neck. Both teams have been soaking very well. Both teams have 1 nuke each. And there you go. 1 little love tap on the tower, guys. That is gonna win us the game right there. You see that? That 1 hit on the tower, that's going to be the difference between winning and losing. I guarantee it. I guarantee. The Butcher apparently doing very well. He's almost got his meat stacked. 7.5 minutes into the game. That's pretty much bang on really good speed. So well played him. Looks like... Oh. Is he got... Yeah, he's dead. Well, maybe we're just going to take another minute. Oh, that feels bad. You're just about to get it and you go down. That sucks. Muradin is down in the bottom soaking. We could maybe scare Sonya off, but she's healing an awful lot. Yeah, with Malfurion and then her Whirlwind, she's going to be okay. Just pinging danger on the Zagara, ensuring that she knows that we should run away. Thrall is coming in around, though. Get the stun in on the Arthas, but Arthas is able to back off. He actually gets cleansed, so we're going to cleanse the Zagara ourselves, get her out of that route, and she just about escapes alive, so that's good news. And we got a Merc camp pushing in. And this one actually does a fair bit of damage, but we are here. Should be able to push it off without too much trouble. You can see the Nidus networks, by the way, on the minimap starting to get set up. Got 1 set up in the mid lane, we got 1 back in the base. That's kind of it so far, but at least that's the beginnings of a bit of a network. Get them set up around the place, get easy access to all those nukes. So our team fight is going to be fairly weak. Our range damage is weak. We're very reliant on melee assassins, and they're fighting into Arthas Sonya, which is kind of scary. That was a very nice charge by the Butcher, actually, charging around the team fight, basically using the Unstoppable to go completely perpendicular to the fight going around. Nice silence coming out from him. I have the Divine Shield down on the Butcher, ensuring that he can go in, go ham, and continue working without needing to worry about being silenced. There you go, we even get another kill, and that worked out very nicely indeed. What a turnaround. Another kill comes in. Gonna check out my talents, and while I'm looking at my talents, Zagara dies. Shh. Whoops. The nice thing about Uther is that you can pretend that your cooldowns are really long. Just pretend, just be like, oh, it was just coming off cooldown. Zagara will never know. That feels bad, man. That feels bad. I thought you could see that we were kind of kicking ass. Thought we had that kind of under lockdown. And poor old Zagara gets picked off while I'm considering my talent choices. Could have saved her for sure. Oops. Anyway, we got ourselves 2 warheads. Pretty sweet. And that was a very good team fight for us. We got a half a level lead now in terms, well, a little bit less in terms of XP, but pretty nice. Probably actually will be half a level once we fire off these 2 nukes. Just going to fire mine right here. Finish off the tower, do some damage to the fort. Could have potentially fired it directly onto the fort. They did nerf the damage the center of the nukes do by 50% in the last patch, but it's still usually a good idea to do so. Basically, the way I look at it is, I don't know, with this patch, I've been prioritizing just hitting as many structures as you can with the nukes, just to maximize your damage output and therefore your XP gain. And then it's when most of the structures are down, or when you want to take out a keep, that's when you fire directly on the structures. But generally speaking, I try to hit as many things as possible. Coming in here, thinking we could maybe go ham. Zagara is nearby. Unfortunately, that did not work out. Got the Divine Shield on Thrall, but he was just using it to retreat. I went in. Thrall did not have the same idea, and I get picked off right there. So a bit overly eager from me. Definitely a bit overly eager for me. Thought we might have been able to turn it around with the Divine Shield and Thrall just going hard in on them. Obviously, that's a very difficult thing to communicate. I think actually this video, this is why I was bringing it today. I remember now, because I have the Samuro video. We had a really, really good Uther player, so I thought this is perfect actually that I have a video on Uther also coming out, so you kind of see playing Uther from the Uther's perspective. But yeah, like it happened in that one, the first time it happened in that game, I basically went in with Bladestorm and then backed off with the Divine Shield coming on me, and it was when I knew that Uther had my back and that he would protect me. That enabled me to go much more ham, because I knew that Uther would be there to cover. You can see I'm kind of coming back and forwards here. I'm kind of like going one way, going the other. Basically, I'd be looking at the enemy team. They were all bottom doing that boss, but they did finish it off. I was basically trying to calculate how quickly they can get there, how quickly the boss is going to go down. Do I need to move up, or can I afford to take this? Also considering level 16. Picked up Q talents at levels 13 and level 16, just basically adding more AoE healing with the level 13 talent. With our basic attacks, we just spread AoE healing, going to help deal with that AoE damage, pretty useful. And people should be relatively stacked, so we're a very melee heavy team. And then level 16, just getting the resistant damage on that Q should work really well with the Butcher and Thrall when they go in deep and start getting focused down. I can only Divine Shield one of them, but I can Q the other one, that should help them survive. Actually, was hoping to get this one minion being a real jerk. Minion MVP stopping me mounting up. We do get over. Our teammates are doing pretty good. Looks like Murden's gonna go down, but our teammates are doing okay right here. The boss is coming in as well. Got a ping to let them know I'm coming in. The Butcher is going in deep. There we go. Got a Divine Shield Thrall. Help him go in. Now my attention was split once again. Zagara goes down. I'm so sorry, Zagara. She probably hates me. But yeah, I was kind of going, okay, Butcher's gone in hard. I was kind of hoping the Divine Shield would be enough to deal with the Sonya, but she turned very well. She played that very well. Got onto Zagara. And then basically I said Divine Shield would be enough for that fight to the left hand side, turn some attention to the right hand side to that dive going on, because the Butcher might probably very likely be expecting a Divine Shield himself when he goes in. Unfortunately, the attention was split, wasn't able to respond properly. Don't particularly like that nuke now. Did that even hit the bottom tower? I'm not sure. Oops. Oh well. But yeah, definitely one of the tricky things. That's one of the most difficult things I find with the support is when you have multiple things going on in a team fight, like on both sides of the screen, where you can't even capture both sides of the team fight in a single screen. That's when it becomes hard without voice chat or anything to coordinate and to direct your attention appropriately. You could see it right there. You could see the split attention, trying to do both fights at once and then letting Zagara down. Once again, just shh. If she asks, it was on cooldown. Okay, we healed the Butcher. It's fine. Don't worry. Zagara, she probably hates me. She's probably crying. You're like, Uther, why did you not save me? She's not being toxic though, so shout out to Zagara. And here we go. We got ourselves a pretty nice thing. One thing you'll have noticed is the Butcher's doing a fantastic job in this game, soloing bosses and really sneaking that and using that to a massive advantage. So really cool to see that tactic on this particular map. Solo boss Butcher. We've actually snuck 2 bosses out of it so far. This is pretty gnarly. Kind of in a bit of a concave here around the enemy team. Here we go. Now we're going into a more traditional team fight, sidestep, that sort of stuff. Murden is going in. Gonna get a bit of a heal down on him. Thrall goes in, is getting focused, so I give him a Divine Shield. He's going to be okay. Looking towards the Butcher right now. Once again, our attention is fairly split. Trying to keep the Butcher alive right here. There we go. Get a heal on the Butcher. Thrall is going 1v1. Well, not 1v1. Thrall's just going ham and kicking ass over here. We heal up the Malfurion as Muradin as well, having him escape. Thrall, though, gone a little bit too deep. Does get picked off. Unfortunately, didn't have the heals ready to save him from that one. But that went very well overall. 2 kills for us. There you go. Not the best nuke. I don't think that hit the fort. No, he just missed the fort, or the keep, excuse me. So he should have aimed that one a little bit better. And here we go. Looks like the keep's going to go down. You see that? You see that as well? That 1-0 love tap against the keep? Guys, I'm telling you, these are the things that win these games. If it wasn't for those 2 extra melee hits, we probably would be down level 17 to level 20 right now. The enemy team would have 10 nukes, and this would be horrible. Serious. There's no way out of it. Anyway, here we go. We got to keep down. That's huge. Whereas we still have 2 forts up. And I feel like the top lane is relatively difficult to get inside as well. You get more nukes spawning on the bottom half of the map than you do on the top half. So it's very often the case with maps, I feel, that the top lane is the hardest one to finish through. Certainly the case with like Dragonshire. Probably Blackheart's Bay, even though there is a boss. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Anyway, we are looking at potentially taking a boss right here, sneaking as well. We're right to level 22. I'm just going to try scout out and zone this a little bit. Butcher's going for it. I'm going to give him a bit of a heal, make sure that he's not going to take too much damage. He should have the cooldown up before anything much happens. Very important that we try to bluff the boss and try to distract them, slow them down as much as possible for the Butcher to take this. But you can see the power of that. The enemy team scared to fight in, knowing we're about to hit 20. And then just the power of the Butcher still taking the boss. He had Thrall helping him to take it down quicker. We kept him alive with heals. He would have been fine either way, but still. Very nice. We at level 20. Pick up Redemption level 20, so when we die, we will come back alive, which is pretty damn useful. Heal up the Butcher. You can see that Gul'dan has indeed completed his quest right now, so that's a lot more damage for him. And the nukes have spawned. The boss is pushing the bottom lane. Pretty good position for us, all things considered. If you look at the mid lane of the map right now, you can see the Butcher has, for some reason, dived the entire enemy team. And he is dead. Muradin followed him in. And is dead? Is dead as well. So the greed is real. I think a bit of overconfidence from the Butcher right there, trying to dive the whole enemy team, and pays quite a hefty price for that. Pays with his life and the life of our warrior. So, like Sagara said, is this a throw? There's no objective in the mid lane to actually take. The keep is already down. They're only heroes. They're all there. We go in for the siege camp. We get pushed off, but that's actually really good for us. That's actually really, really good. Gul'dan wasting Horrify, doesn't quite aim it right, and actually was just able to walk away. That's one of their most powerful team fighting heroics. Just completely gone. So advantage us. We're down a couple of heroes, but when they come up, there will actually be a window of opportunity where we will have an advantage. A little bit, anyway. Possibly our heroics from Muradin and Gul'dan will be... Muradin and the Butcher will be down too, but... yeah, pretty nice. Certainly, though, no reason to dive as 2 people into the mid lane. Even if you could pick Fala, you're probably going to get picked off in return. There's no reason not to just grab the nukes, push in with the boss, take the other boss, just slowly create pressure. We had a very good position, so it's kind of unnecessary. See, we're looking to go top. The boss is obviously the thing to fight over. Just going to push this wave in a little bit, create pressure on that bottom keep, which is very low. I'm saying be careful. Once again, I feel like maybe a little bit overcommitted. The Butcher does have Bolt. Oh, maybe he had Bolt earlier, but he got CC'd out of it. Or silenced by a Twilight Dream or something. We didn't catch that fight, so we can't say for sure. That's very possibly what happened. Maybe that's why he went so ham. Interesting. But Muradin does go down, which is unfortunate. I think they kind of overcommitted to their positioning right there while we were pushing in the bottom instead. And we don't actually pick up the keep because of that, which is kind of sucks. Kind of sucks. But Sonya is out of position right here, for sure. The enemy team is nearby. They are rotating up, but they're going to be slow. You can see I'm saying not to overcommit. I'm saying, okay, try to pick the Sonya, but don't overcommit. Just get her down a little bit. Don't worry about it too much. She popped Hardened Shield, and there you go. Sonya gets escapes, a lot of health. Thrall actually bolting in. We cleanse the Thrall out of the roots. Thrall bolts in and finishes her off. I was like, okay, don't overcommit, but that was fucking awesome. Fair play, Thrall. Hit him with the Divine Shield, just help him do a little bit more damage. Now it's looking a little bit gnarly. Got no heroics left to heal anyone. Out of heals, got nothing left here. Butcher does go down. Now I'm in a bit of a tough spot as well. Get a bit of a heal on Thrall before I'm about to go down, and there we go. I do have Redemption, by the way. When this wears out, I will resurrect. Gul'dan knows it, though, and Vala's on the hunt as well. These jerks, they know exactly what I'm up to. It's always good when they forget, and people do forget. My goal right here, this is quite important. We're down in heroes. We've lost the fight, but there are objectives spawning around the map. So if I draw them away, and you can see that's what I started doing. I tried to escape, then when I realized I wasn't going to, try to draw them away so they're not at the fight, which means that we could potentially win. The teammates almost pick off Arthas. It was so close, but it doesn't quite work out. But still, it took Vala away from the fight for a while. Gul'dan was a bit late to that fight too. We almost I think Zagara could have just finished that off with an E and a W, but Nuke's fine. Oh, okay, never mind. I see what's going on. She's actually got her Nidus networks so well established that her priority is actually just to deny the nukes as much as it is to actually use it. So yeah, she could have finished that off, I think, with E and a W, but might as well use the nuke, because she's just going to pick another one up anyway, and that's one less nuke for the enemy team to pick up. That's actually really smart. That's really smart. But yeah, what I was doing was, I think what I was doing was pretty smart as well, up there at the top, dying. Basically make the most out of my death as possible. It certainly delays my death timer, so I'm going to be gone for longer as opposed to just standing there and letting them kill me. But it did take two heroes out of the fight for quite a while, and it almost worked really well for us. I mean, even still, in a sense it did, because they were slow coming, they were slow getting up to top. It let Zagara be free to actually make a lot happen down the bottom half of the map, and our teammates did actually walk away alive and almost got a kill out of it. So, you know, dying gracefully kind of worked out pretty well. You can see him trying to loop around right here. This is one of the fortunate things where I'm actually not sure where the minion wave is. Trying to sneak around and actually just walk bang into it. So oops, that's not ideal. The Butcher is about to finish this off though. But yeah, one thing you can do, this is a nice little tip, is you can, to work out where the minion wave is going to be in order to be sneaking around, to get to objectives and things like that, or set up traps, is to look at where your minion wave is on the map. Unfortunately ours was pushed in, the bottom one was dead. I could have looked at the middle one but didn't quite notice it. But yeah, it's kind of one of those awkward positions where couldn't quite work it out. Now this is kind of crazy. This is a big fight right here. I want to get Divine Shield on Thrall, but that's a huge hard fight from Gul'dan. Looks like he has level 20 on that as well. Thrall about to die. Hit him with a Divine Shield just for running away this time, so definitely not ideal. Vala going in. I'm not too scared by her though. Give Thrall the Q. I actually almost died. Got quite lucky that I escaped. Unfortunately, a couple of our other teammates aren't so lucky. Meanwhile though, looking at the minimap, the boss up top does pick up the final keep, and in the bottom of the minimap, Mr. Butcher is having quite a lot of fun. I've got quite a lot of faith in this Thrall actually, he's quite good. So with me here to back him up, potentially we could pick up some kill. Is he going to do some crazy bolt moves again this time? Unfortunately it was on cooldown, looks like. But still, the Butcher soloing another boss. Thrall actually going pretty hard up top, actually almost killing Arthas and pushing him off that bruiser camp, even though it's basically 1 versus 5. I've now arrived with 2 versus 5. Okay, we are going to try to steal this. Obviously you have to be very careful at this point, be ready to run. Basically at any moment the enemy team could arrive. So we'll be constantly looking at the minimap right now, being very cautious that they might appear. But they don't. Actually not sure where they are. That's kind of unusual. We see 2. Where are the other 3? Sonya's in middle, Gul'dan's bottom. There's 3 heroes that are just missing. Okay, there they are, in the bottom. I guess they just Hearthstone for resources. Definitely very unusual. Won't say no to capturing a bruiser camp for free though. You can see we're getting some nice pushes in right there. Butcher going in pretty deep. Gonna create this minion wave, just get it pushing in. There we go, gonna give the Butcher Divine Shield, just help him survive all of that. Go in to try to heal the Thrall, but get caught by the Horrifying, get picked off. That's okay, we got Redemption back up, and we're healing, but more importantly, the core is going down, the boss is on the core, the Butcher's on the core, Thrall's on the core, and there we go, boss still at half HP, no problem at all. Very smooth, very nice. And a very cool game. I actually thought that was a really good one, really enjoyable. Just the Uther play, the team play, with the Thrall and not the Gul'dan, the Butcher failing to save Zagara a couple of times, and then the Butcher doing work soloing bosses. Very interesting game on Warhead Junction right there. The Zagara using her global presence as well. Oh, a bunch of really cool stuff happened in that one. Let's check out the stats and the talents. And yeah, guys, give this one a like if you liked it. I thought this was these are 2 very good videos today. I think they really are. And the familiar side of being 3/4 of the way through Diamond 1. Wave of Light, Boundless Conviction, Cleanse, Divine Shield, Blessed Champion, Righteous Defense, and Redemption. Didn't actually get that much use out of Blessed Champion, but you could see the theory right there. The theory was to, if we did have a good teamfight engagement, to be in there getting extra heals on all of those melee stacked heroes. Didn't really work out. Could have gone for something different. I don't know. I think it's still a pretty decent option. Just the Horrify from Gul'dan honestly was focused onto us mostly, and yeah, we found it hard to actually work the team fight with that. But not too much you can do. The team fight still worked out in our favor quite well despite that. And there you go, guys. Good luck at the Uther. Hope you enjoyed. And Warhead Junction. I will see you all next time for more Heroes of the Storm. Bye bye.